Hi there, it's Grant here, and in this quick video what I'm going to do is I found an article from Teeka Tiwari that he released a couple of days ago where he has exposed that Wall Street firms and corporate financial giants are piling into crypto and Bitcoin, which basically goes against the whole narrative that the mainstream media and Wall Street will lead you to believe that crypto is a scam, it's a load of rubbish, it's got no future, you'll lose all your money. But at the same time, behind the scenes, away from the people's eyes, these firms are piling into Bitcoin and crypto and are going to profit big time when the bull market comes, crypto bull market, which could be within the next 12 months, maybe around Bitcoin's halving next year. And I just want to read through this article because I think it's quite enlightening and it gives you a snapshot of what is really happening compared to what the narrative we're being told that, yeah, crypto's useless, and all that baloney. So let me just flick through this, and I want to bring your attention to this part of the article where it says, now here come the giants. And what he means by that is the giants are coming into crypto and Bitcoin. So he says, remember that June 15th date I mentioned? That's when Blackrock, the world's largest asset manager with almost 10 trillion under management, stunned the world by filing for a spot exchange traded fund ETF. Unlike previous Bitcoin ETF applications, this filing went to great lengths to appease SEC's concerns over manipulation in the spot BTC market. This was such a big deal to me that on June 21st I came out and said, when we look back, we'll see that Blackrock filing will have marked the end of the crypto bear market and the beginning of a bull market. Will I be wrong? Teeka says, like when I called 40k Bitcoin, I'm sure many thought I will be, especially when just 15 days after Blackrock announced its spot Bitcoin ETF application, the SEC threw cold water all over it. The agency said the application was inadequate because it didn't properly monitor price manipulation in the spot BTC market. That forced Blackrock to refile the application to address the SEC's concerns. Bitcoin briefly dropped to 29k on the news, but quickly vaulted back above 30,000, where it's held steady. If we were still in a bear market, Bitcoin would have dropped 30% plus on that news. Here's my takeaway, Teeka's takeaway, of course. The market's finally awake and the financial giants are coming, and there's just not enough Bitcoin to go round. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink and his colossal money management firm is the mightiest giant of them all. They've got their tentacles everywhere, trust me. And they can move markets, control governments, and yeah, they're incredibly powerful, BlackRock. Just over 2 weeks after the SEC called the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF application inadequate, it quietly acknowledged that it accepted the refiled application for official review. Now, this doesn't mean the SEC has approved the ETF, but it means the application is on the agency's docket for review. The fact that the application is now under official consideration is a big step forward. To me, this looks like Larry Fink has been able to force the SEC stop its foot dragging. Friends, Teeka says, Larry Fink's move into Bitcoin provides all the cover for the rest of Wall Street needs to bring their money shovels to. The bet in front of you and us in general is simple. Do you bet that Gary Gensler, a political appointee with very little political capital to speak of, has the stones to both confront, deny and defeat the 800-pound gorilla of global finance, Larry Fink? Teeka thinks not. And if Gensler loses, which I believe he will, Teeka says, of course, what does that mean for all of crypto? Bitcoin will skyrocket in price. BTC to 100,000 will happen in the blink of an eye. That's a 235% move higher from here. Ethereum will also explode higher in value to at least $7,500. So that's another no-brainer, 296% gain. So you need to own more Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you're waiting for a big dip, you might not get it. If you have cash on the sidelines and are looking for an opportunity to own more Bitcoin and Ethereum, now is your chance before it's too late. So yeah, BlackRock's move into Bitcoin is absolutely huge. I can't underestimate how huge, this is. Because at the end of the day, you know, BlackRock, 20 trillion under management, they have the power to move markets. And when, you know, if this spot ETF for BTC gets approved, then millions, if not, well, billions of dollars are going to be piling and traded on Bitcoin, which I think could trigger the next bull run, as Teeka says. And just if you're a little curious, because I was, what is a Bitcoin ETF? So what is a Bitcoin ETF? I just want to bring this so you understand. So when investors refer to a Bitcoin ETF, they're referring to a spot Bitcoin ETF. A Bitcoin exchange traded fund is an investment vehicle that seeks to track the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin ETFs are traded on traditional regulated security exchanges are not available on cryptocurrency exchanges. So people like you and me cannot trade them. So basically, how do they work? A spot Bitcoin ETF is backed by physical Bitcoins that underpin the value of the ETF. If the value of the digital coins backing the ETF rises, the value of investment can generally be expected to increase. In simple terms, if the price of Bitcoin increases, the investment should too. A physically backed Bitcoin ETF is the most direct way of investing in Bitcoin without buying Bitcoin on a crypto exchange and holding the coins. In this case, the fund holds them. There are some negatives though, for example, well, you know, basically this investment vehicle or spot Bitcoin ETF, if it gets approved, will allow BlackRock to pile billions of dollars into this ETF, which will give it massive exposure to Bitcoin. It will allow you to track the Bitcoin price. Yeah, it will move markets, Bitcoin, namely the Bitcoin market, and probably the whole other crypto market will follow. And if BlackRock gets this approved, you bet other financial firms of the world will be piling in, as well as huge investors with a lot of money to invest. So Teeka goes on to say this will be a huge trend. Long-time readers know that in the future, I believe that every asset will be tokenized. That means stocks, bonds, title of ownerships, music rights, everything of value will have their ownership rights secured by a blockchain. And I think that is true. The future is digital and it's going to be on the blockchain. But I'll go one step further. I think there's going to be a huge war, financial war, moving ahead to control the financial system like nothing we've seen before. It's going to be, the war's going to be between central bank digital currencies and traditional decentralized cryptos. And I'm not going to go into that now. Well, just quickly to give you a bit of overview, central bank digital currencies are going to be brought in by the governments. And I personally believe that their goal with these CBDCs is to basically control the people's money and take away people's financial freedom and completely control them. That is what I believe, and a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork also saying this, as well as Teeka. So these things, in my opinion, can never come into existence, but governments all over the world are either investigating them or putting the networks in place to launch these things. And obviously the war of that is going to be with traditional crypto, which basically is decentralized like Bitcoin. It's a decentralized crypto. No one can touch it. If you own Bitcoin, you're your own bank. You're your own custodian. You can spend that money how you please. So I think there's going to be a huge war between CBDCs and traditional crypto moving forward. And which one the people decide will essentially decide the future of the financial system. So it's a big deal. I'm sorry to go off track there, but I think you need to understand this. Not only with Bitcoin, BlackRock going into crypto is a big deal. There's going to be, we need to keep an eye on the CBDCs because they want to basically crush traditional crypto. So I'll carry on reading this. So that will be led by stablecoins and central bank digital currencies, private market funds, securities, and real estate. Simplest, low risk, highest reward way of getting exposure to this trend is to buy Ethereum. That's where a lot of the tokenization of assets is going to reside. Based on my research, it will eventually be the world's most important global trade network because most NFTs, as well as countless other innovations, are built on its open source software, the Ethereum, of course. Now, so basically, Teeka has been hammering the table about CBDCs in a new presentation. It says, why the global move to CBDCs will be a catalyst for digital currencies. It will also threaten your financial freedom. As I wrote last month, Teeka, of course, the United States is laying the groundwork for a digital dollar, and the Federal Reserve just launched its FedNow on Thursday. If you haven't heard of FedNow, it's basically the infrastructure the US government would require for a future transition to a US digital dollar. That's why some call FedNow a Trojan horse for CBDCs. FedNow is a new instant payment system developed by the Fed. It also allows institutions of every size to provide instant payment services. And once the government implements a digital currency, it will have direct access to your bank account, as I've basically said. And I found out that these CBDCs are programmable, meaning that they could put negative interest rates on your account, meaning that they could shrink your bank balance, they could freeze payments for certain goods. If they don't like what you're saying on social media, they could freeze your bank account. It is not good because the government will essentially control what you spend and will control your money. So your financial freedom is good. So that's why Teeka put together a free presentation to warn you about this. And if you want to watch Teeka's presentation about the digital dollar, how it will affect you and what you can do to opt out of it, you can come to this page. I'll link to this down below. And you can basically watch it. Just come to this page, watch the Watch Now button. It will take you straight to the video. But also, if you want Teeka's in-depth research of how you can opt out of a digital dollar and how you can protect yourself from CBDCs, the digital dollar, and the ever rapidly changing financial system, why not join his Palm Beach letter? I've been a member now for 18 months. I love it. I've learned everything I know about crypto from this service and Teeka. And basically in it, he shows you how to protect and grow your wealth and how to basically protect yourself from the US digital dollar and invest in crypto wisely, because there's a full crypto course in there as well. Normally this costs $199, but you can join for just $49, which locks your membership in for 1 year. So if you want to join, I'll put a link down below. So lot to take in there. Hope you found this video useful. What I will say is, and this isn't financial advice, I strongly advise, advise is a strong word because I'm not a financial advisor, but the way I'll put it is, I am putting money into Bitcoin and crypto now because I'm concerned about CBDCs. I live in the UK, and whilst the digital dollar, I don't use dollars. I know there's going to be a digital pound at some point in the future, and I've got no interest in using it. So I'm putting some of the money I have into Bitcoin and crypto. Now, I'm not advising you do that. It's just what I'm doing because I can see potentially what's coming ahead. If people go along with it and they buy in CBDCs, and these things become mainstream and they're, CBDCs of a new financial system, I think we're in big trouble. And I think a way out of that is cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're decentralized. So yeah, I'd consider about putting a little bit of money gradually into Bitcoin and Ethereum. But obviously you do that at your own risk. If crypto market crashes and you lose all your money, that is on you. It's your responsibility to make smart financial investments, But yeah, that is what Teeka advises. That's what I'm doing. So you can take that for what you want. And also the other last thing I'll leave you with is I strongly advise you look into CBDs for further. Watch Teeka's presentation, but I also advise you to do all of the research you can into CBDCs because, in my opinion, they are not good. I mean, it's not an absolute shoo-in that these things are coming. At the end of the day, if people oppose it, they say to their governments, we don't want this, then they won't come in. I mean, the people have the power to stop these things coming in because they offer very little advantage over the current financial system we have. They don't.
offer any benefits. The only benefit is for the government and the Fed, because they have direct access to our money and they can control our money. If they control our money, they control us. So yeah, do your research. It's very important. I'd honestly complain to your local governor about these things, because they should never come into fruition. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like the video, subscribe, share it, because I think this is incredibly important information on all fronts for people to see, so they know what's going on, they can grow their wealth and protect their wealth in the future. Thanks for joining me, and I will speak to you soon.